Wow, okay, yeah, these are terrorist bugs. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 44th episode of the show Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, as well as the 337th episode overall, titled Journey's End Part 2. We begin this episode where we left off with everyone running to evacuation. The suicide bomber Stingwingers are coming toward Terra Venture, and we see now that Stratoforce and Centaurus are out there, heading the Stingwingers away. They then just start completely getting swarmed as Stingwingers find an opening going inside. They then just attach themselves to a building, pulling out pins, and they make the buildings explode. There are a lot of Stingwingers now swarming everyone, and oh my god, Bulk and Phenomenus. The Rangers are morphed trying to get everyone to shuttles, but now they're being attacked by the Stingwingers, and some hold on to Leo, pulling out their pins, really blowing his shit up. Leo then screams about how they have bombs on them, and they get Corone now committing suicide. Jesus. Damon gets some with his trans dagger, and Maya gets blown up a bit too. Bad time for Mike to not be able to morph anymore. Also, Kai then just pulls a pin on some. Villamax is there talking about how this is a disgrace. She's killing her own army. He then sees something go by and he moves debris to find a little girl who screams at him in horror. A bunch of debris falls down and he protects her from the falling debris. She asks if he can help her find her mom, and her mom comes up screaming for her. Then she gives a blue flower to Villamax saying thank you. The mom screams, grabbing her kid and running while the kid waves at Villamax. He inspects the flower. Really? A redemption arc in the 11th hour? Stratoforce and Centaurus are also completely covered in Stingwingers, and so was Leo, but then he flips out of them and they all self-destruct. Leo wonders how many are left, and Alpha calls letting them know that Megazords are in trouble. They talk over their comms about how they can't leave Terra Venture. Also, Centaurus and Stratoforce are completely covered, and the Stingwingers pull their pins, blowing up the two Megazords completely. Well, they made that decision easy. Just pieces of the Zords remain outside the dome, and Leo talks to himself about how Turkina won't get Terra Venture. So now he's fighting back, and so are the other Rangers, although they do keep getting blown up. Kai and Damon are helping each other run away, but they get pushed back, so they fire on them, blowing them all up. Leo is also cutting through a lot of Stingwingers, causing big explosions behind him. This is a lot to process. Later, the 5 Rangers are exhausted, regrouping. They're all okay and they think they got them all, but then they hear a lot of cracking. The dome is about to pop, so they've got to help the evacuation speed up. On the Scorpion Singer, Turkina is so excited about how well she's doing, and she tells Villamax to send her army into Terra Venture to kill the Rangers, and Villamax points out that every Stingwinger is already dead. She says that's fine, she doesn't need them. All the shuttles are leaving Terra Venture, and the Rangers are all helping civilians onto the ships, and we see Bulk and Phenomenus again. I honestly keep forgetting about them. Kai tells a girl that she can't take anything with her, but then he ends up letting her keep a photo of her mom and dad. It's a nice little moment that we'll get to later. Mike finds Stanton in the bridge as things are sparking. He's just staring outside. Mike tells him that they have to go, and Stanton says that the city was supposed to be the shining capital of the new world, but instead it's a shipwreck. Kai and Leo are talking about how insane this is. Kai asks if Leo is still glad he snuck on board, and he said he'd do it again in a heartbeat. The others come up saying that they have to go because the dome's about to pop. On the shuttles, we see civilians getting away, and secretly, Turkina is behind them, and she wants to shoot the shuttles out of the sky just like they shot the Stingwingers. She tells Villamax to lock the lasers, and he turns around looking at the flower. He remembers the little girl from earlier who was actually on the ship. Everyone notices Turkina. Turkina orders Villamax to fire on the shuttles, and he refuses. He says that the Red Ranger killed her dad, but those ships are filled with innocent people, little children. She gets pissed, telling him to move so she can do it herself. Villamax says there's no honor in this, so she pushes him aside. He tries to stop her, but then she fires at him through an entire wall, calling him pathetic. Kegler makes sure he's okay, but Turkina fires on Villamax again. He refuses to fight back as Turkina is attacking him, and she's really kicking his ass. He does some simple maneuvers to defend himself, but he stops himself from punching her in the face. He almost takes out his dagger, but he refuses. Something, honor. Turkina slashes him and he drops a flower from the little girl, which Turkina promptly steps on. She laughs, saying that he taught her too well. He says that she learned nothing, and he evaporates into nothing. Kegler begins sobbing about Villamax's death, but he stops when Turkina threatens him. She's going back to where she was, getting ready to fire on the shuttle, but then the Scorpion Singer is hit from behind by the megaship, which comes flying into the scene. The Rangers are on board helmetless, and this is great. Kegler's freaking out on board the Scorpion Stinger, and Turkina makes sure to pinch the megaship in front of them, and everyone goes flying. They have to try to get back to their stations, and things are exploding. Alpha's freaking out, trying to keep the engines going, but then he falls backwards and stuff falls on top of him. Leo says they have to put the megaship on self-destruct, and Damon is pissed, but he just does it. Everyone says they need to get out of there running away. They tell Alpha to meet them at the Jet Jammer Bay. R.I.P. Deca, I guess. They get there, but the Jammer Bay doors are blocked. They start to move stuff, and Corone's like, wait, where's Alpha? And Damon surmises he must still be in the engine room. Leo goes back for him, getting him free. Alpha is happy to be saved, and they start running down the hallway. The Rangers now have their helmets on, firing at the bay doors to open them back up. It works, so they get into their jet jammers just as the countdown to self-destruction from 10 starts. Alpha is on with Leo as they fly away, and the impact makes everyone spiral out of control a bit, and Alpha goes flying. Yeet! Leo crash lands on the moon that they were just on before, causing explosions. Meanwhile, the shuttles are landing on the new world and everyone's so excited, including Bulk and Phenomenus. Seriously, keep forgetting about them. In the background, everyone except for Leo is there, and they find Alpha, who is stuck upside down in a bush. They're happy to see him, talking to him about how they were worried about him, but then Kai realizes that Leo isn't around, and we have a nice shot of the moon in the background. On the moon, Leo is demorphed, walking around. His jet jammer is toast. He tries to call Kai or Damon or anyone, but his morpher sounds a bit fried. Meanwhile, the Scorpion Singer Drakina ain't doing so hot either. She's hobbling around the ship, getting closer to the cocoon, reaching out for it. To be continued. Surprisingly, it appears that this finale is an actual 3-parter. So now, pretty much everything is super dire, but we've made some progress. Stingwingers have been completely handled while people have landed safely on the new planet. The Rangers are mostly okay too, except for Leo, who's stuck on the moon without a way home. But here's the question, where's Mike? So next time, we'll be talking about the final episode of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. But until then, may the power protect you.